Hey everyone, all are doing well and staying safe. And we want to thank you so much for watching our videos. We know we haven't been posting them so much in the past, like in a couple of weeks, because we've been busy. We had some stuff going on, so we couldn't get back to you on that. So, yeah,
Yeah, thanks. Thank you so much for watching the videos. As Sai said, keep continuing to show us some love. Keep smashing the like button. Keep subscribing. Keep continuing to watch our videos. Go check out our social links down below. And we have a very special guest today. He is one of the most influential people in Minnesota's Carnatic history. Please welcome Sriram Natarajan. Uncle.
Namaskaram, uncle.
Namaskaram, MN brothers. Good to see you guys after a long time
Thank you
virtually.
so much for coming on the show, Uncle. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on the show, Uncle. It means so much that you're here today.
Thank you for doing what you're doing. It's a very novel idea, and doing whatever that we might do for Carnatic music is less, and every bit that we do that you guys are doing is really good, and it will be um, what goes around comes around. So you will definitely be rewarded for what you're doing in ways unknown to you. So
Yeah. And we started this off, I think you may already know, from because we were just really bored, especially during quarantine times. And so this idea just came to us and we thought, why not start it? So like I know, spread
Yeah.
music.
So, Sriram, Uncle, COVID has brought almost everything to a standstill. So, can you tell us musically how COVID has affected you?
musically, COVID has affected me in ways I didn't imagine it might. In a way where I'll talk about all the positive things of how COVID has positively affected me. I didn't imagine I'll be able to put so much time to think about Mridangam and practice Mridangam, which has been wonderfully good for me. I didn't expect I'll spend so much time teaching, which I'm also able to do it, and I'm glad that I'm able to do it. I didn't expect that I'll be able to do so much for the community from a financial perspective in being able to get things organized. And I've been able to do that by God's grace, by Guru's grace. So those are some of the good things that have come out of this whole idea of being locked down in a certain way, not thought about by anybody before. In a not so good way, of course, we don't have artists coming in from India. We are not able to go to India for Chennai December season. There's no December season happening. It started with not having a Cleveland Aradhana, and it's also we never thought that when Aradhana was going to be first postponed to August, that there's not only will Aradhana not happen, we'll not have a December season. So in a lot of ways, it has. I'm glad that I haven't taken up music as a profession because this has not affected me. But also, I'm glad that I'm in a position when I'm able to help people who are actually impacted by the situation. So there's a little bit of bittersweet in this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
And that's wonderful that you mentioned the positive things in music because in these times we're not really seeing any positives as in terms of what we're seeing on the news and social media and stuff. But it's good to see that there is a lot of positive in this lockdown and COVID-19.
Yeah,
So
whatever we do, we always, at least I have learned it the hard way. It's better to focus on the positive things. Everything that you do or anything that might happen to you, there's always, this Minnesota phrase of it could have been much worse, right? And I learned that from your dad, Prasid, Balaji uncle, saying, it could have been much worse. Many things could have happened, but it's not as worse as it is. So is always the positive side of things, and it helps us keep going and believing in hope.
Yes, Uncle, definitely. So now let's shift to like your initial training. So tell us a little bit about your childhood and growing up with Carnatic music, who your gurus were, and like just tell us a little bit about that.
So we are in the Diwali time frame right now. My earliest recollection of Carnatic music, was really Nadaswaram with Diwali. So we would wake up, my dad and one of our neighbors, and I grew up in Bombay, in a very lower middle class kind of a suburb called Chennai, where we got like 10 or 12 houses right next to each other, and you have got to share a common toilet. So and then there's a common veranda, so you got to walk through that veranda, and it's anybody can walk into anybody's house. It's very common to have that. So it was a very close knit, growing with the neighbors kind of a situation. We had one Tamilian neighbor, and that mama and my dad would always have a porty of sorts as to who's going to wake up first. And whoever wakes up first, both of them had the same gramophone record of Sheikh Chinna Maulana. And one of them would put on. So if you can hear Todi in the morning, that means okay, Diwali started, kind of a thing. So some of those kritis were like embedded in my mind. Janaki Ramana, Marugelara. So those are some of the things that when I think of Carnatic music, that's what sort of introduced me into, oh wow, this is something that I should be doing, or maybe not I should be doing, but subconsciously I would always try to tap on a table or tap on whatever that I could get my hands on. So my sister and my mother, thought that I should do something about it. My sister learned Carnatic music vocal, and my mother learned dance when she was growing up, before she got married. So they decided to take me to a Mridangam guru, and we used to live in a place called Govandi in Bombay, and they took me to Chembur Fine Arts, which is the closest that we could go to, and I started my training back in 1981 with a guru whose name is Shri K.V. Maniyappan sir. Maniyappan sir is a student of Palghat Raghu sir, and I was glad, honored to be introduced to that Guru Parampara to start with. So for about 8 to 10 years, I learned there under Maniyappan sir in Chembur Fine Arts, and then Maniyappan sir took me to NCPA, where once a year Raghu sir would come, and he would have classes for a month in during the summertime. And that's when I got introduced to more advanced styles of playing, and more than playing, being able to think differently above and beyond what you're normally conventionally used to thinking about. So that was my sort of the initial upbringing of or introduction to Carnatic music.
Very nice, very nice. So, as we move later into your journey, can you tell us about your first concert or first Aranget, or not first Arangetram that you had
So
as a Mridangam student?
back then, especially in Bombay, the concept of Arangetram, that too for Mridangam, was not very well popularized or not very well known. And so we would just go and continue to keep learning, and end up playing based on what your friend circle is and things like that. So I had a student of P.N. Krishnamurthy sir, who was a direct disciple of T.V. Shankaranarayanan sir, person by the name Kalyana. He was my colleague in college, and he and I used to jam quite a bit, at home and here and there. And so he sang his first concert in a place called Dombivli in the Bhavani temple. That was my first, full-fledged concert, if you can say. And that was again back in 94, 95. So that's, but before that also I used to, play off and on for, when there's a school or college, events, annual day. small songs, one song here, one song there. Bhajans, my mom used to take me every Tuesday and Friday for Raugala Bhajanes. So I used to go and play there in a Mariamman temple. So those are some of my, trying to get exposed to Patakavasikirtha means what? How do you think about playing with a song?
Yeah, definitely, Uncle. And especially for us, like, like us as Mridangam students, like getting your experience and getting like what you know and trying to spread it to us is really nice.
Yeah. And again, playing with playing bhajana and everything is really what I can say helped me sort of develop my style, develop develop my part for playing for party skills.
The another thing that happened was my mom having had her, initial training in Bharatanatyam, she was also sort of connected with a few dance groups in Bombay. And she also introduced me to, a couple of her friends who were running dance schools. So I would go and play for their dance programs as well. So my Vadyar himself used to play for dance and for kacheris. So I never had that, thing about, in sometimes in India they would say, oh, dance ku vasika kudadu, dance ku vascha, paatu ku vasika mudiyadu, illana kacheri vacha, dance ku vasika mudiyadu. So I was able to sort of transition between both modes of playing. And of course, when you are playing for a kacheri, your background of playing in a dance program will help you actually build the stamina that you need to last through. Sometimes the same line keeps repeating like 50 times. How do you continue to keep playing the same nade over and over and over and over without running or without slowing down? Because that other dancer is also dancing to your rhythm. So if you run,
Yeah,
then they will not be able to run as fast, or if
yeah,
you drag, then we will not be able to catch up. So the concept of Layam, I thought, helped me, was built on very early on in my life, thanks to my exposure to dance, because four or five people, coming in and trying to maintain a single Layam happens more so in dance than in a kacheri setting.
right. And also in dance, you can't. There's a lot less monodramam. You have to really stick to the style of the natwangam and everything like that. Like you can't make your own solos and you can't put a lot of solos in dance and everything like that. So
Actually, I used to get, comments from people. Oh, you're putting these solis in when these people are dancing. That's not right. Don't think you are Palagat Mani here. I used to get all of those weird comments with, because I couldn't discern the difference between, because our Vadyar at that time would not come and teach us this is how you should play for dance, or this is how you should play for party. So when people would give you
mm,
feedback, you will listen to that feedback and you try to change how you do, how you play. So that's how you would always be constantly be listening for feedback, and based on that try to adjust or change.